Modi ora e te whānau, no mai hoki mai. Welcome back to the Practice Run, your frontline pass to the heart of sports action. Brought to you by 99 Dreams, inspiring others to chase their dreams. With your host, Rawiri, Tu and sometimes brother Vincent. We're diving deep into the thrilling world of the NRL and rugby league today, and who knows where the game will take us tomorrow. From the try line to the sideline, we got you covered.
So strap in as we tackle the big plays, the game-changing moments, and the stories that define legends. Whether you're a seasoned vet or this is your first hit up, the Practice Run is for everyone. Every run, every tackle, every win, experience the rush with us.
With exclusive insight, culture analysis, and a touch of humour, the Practice Run is here to keep you entertained, informed, and part of our practice squad. Because here, every practice run takes us one step closer to glory.
The Practice Squad, where every listener is MVP, powering our play every episode, every day. Would also like to give a shout out to our sponsor, 99 Dreams, for powering our passion. Now let's kick things off with today's lineup.
All right. So today, we just got a standard lineup for you today, Fano. We've got our previews for the round, and then we've got our TAB picks, hoping on prayers. I've picked a multi this week there. If it hits, I'm going straight to Auckland on Monday morning, and I'm buying that motorbike, Fano. It's happening. So prayers up for me. I need this to happen. But look, let's get into the show. You know how we roll every episode, every week. We started off with a paper, scissors, rock. I am on I'm feeling like Roman Reigns right now. This streak be acknowledge worthy. So, Fano, here we go. You know how it works. It's just paper, scissors, rock. We say 1, 2, 3, shoot. On shoot, we throw the rock, paper, or the scissors off camera and then pull it up. And whoever wins, wins. Whoever doesn't. And that's just how we start our show. All right, here we go, brother. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1, shoot. And up.
Oh,
he got me.
Finally.
Ooh. The curse is broken, man. You are free at last. Man. It's almost Friday, bro. It's been a long week, especially for you, adjusting into some new mahi. How's the week been, bro?
It's been good. Some long days, just coaching at nights now means I have no choice but to train in the morning. So we're trying to get up crack of dawn, get it done, go to mahi, and then help coach at the night. So we're getting there, still getting used to it. The body needs to adjust, but we're all good. We're alive and kicking, so we're doing well. What about you, bro? How are you?
Blessed to have you here, brother. Blessed to have you here. I'm good, man. Look, it was pay week this week. You know what really grinds my gears? I was thinking about this today, man, is, why do we pay so much tax? Like, who created tax? What do we pay tax for? Because, like, when we don't pay tax, the government comes looking for it. But when we don't show up to work, the government don't fill in for us. What's this all about, man? I'm not a fan, bro. Like, I looked at my pay slip. I was like, oh, that's nice, 2.1K. And then I look at my pay and I'm like, and this is fortnightly, by the way, Fano, no way do I earn $2,000 a week. And then I look at my pay slip and I'm like, oof, $1,400. Well, all right, $600 just for free to the government. For what? For watching me do all these hard yards. The government, what doing, brother? What are you up to, you ball-headed fucks?
It's a tough one, but I mean, what do they say? Well, taxes. I mean, the tax man pays for our roads and all that. Hey, but that's why you get to what's the word I'm looking for? We're allowed to be mad. We can have our opinion on stuff, because we pay taxes. So I'm allowed to say, you mother. What do those white people say? I pay taxes.
But here's my thing, cuz the roads are shit. Where's my tax money going? Not on the roads.
Yeah. Who knows, bro? I have no idea where my tax money goes. So, does that pay slip, does that include like your student loan and KiwiSaver as well?
Yeah, we don't talk about that. But I only contribute 3% at the moment to my KiwiSaver. I don't have max contribute. Because I'm like, bro, I need as much of this money as possible.
Yeah. Actual, yeah.
And I find myself still living like a student too. Like, I live paycheck to paycheck. Like, I ain't out here making sure I got a buffer. I ain't out here making sure I got, what do they call that? Emergency funds. Yeah, I ain't got none of that. But today I did pay off the last of my Afterpay debt. I have deactivated the account and deleted the app. It's done. It's done.
Yeah,
Yeah. We're trying. We're trying to shift the What is that? What is that? I don't know what the word is, but we're trying to shift from always being in debt, living paycheck to paycheck, to figuring out whether or not I've actually got money to mess around with, rather than living just getting by.
Yeah, I'm the same as you, man. Still in that student mentality, living paycheck to paycheck. And obviously, because, we're getting a little bit more money than we were in Studentville, it means, yeah, we can, if I want it, yeah, I'll get it, if I know I've got it, especially if I know payday's tomorrow, yeah, we'll get it then. All good. I got more money coming in tomorrow. It's a mentality that, I definitely need to get out on. I didn't ever want to say how much I spent on takeaways in the last, I think it was in like the last 6 days, bro. It came up on my app, see where your money's going to. So I did a quick check out. Oh, we didn't like it. I can tell you that much. We didn't like it at all. I think I'm going to be deleting Uber real soon, Like, it needs to go. Uber Eats,
Bro.
man, it's taking all my money.
Yeah,
All
I'm
of it.
thankful. When I was in Dunedin, on my scholarship year, I was addicted to Uber Eats. Gee, and yeah, I realized now I'm getting $1,500 a month from scholarship, and 800 of that 15 is going on fast food. I quickly got out of that, man. I was like, this is not the life for me. So, Fano, if you're listening, man, make some smarter financial decisions. It's a cold, cold world out there sometimes, but here we are. We're trying to do good for ourselves. But look, let's break down some of the games on this weekend. Tonight's game, I mean, we've had bangers all season, right? And even games we didn't really think would be bangers they still turn out to be bangers. I'm a little bit wary of this one. A little bit wary. At least it's in Suncorp Stadium. So, I mean, it's destined to be a banger. I haven't seen shit games at Suncorp. Well, that the Broncos play anyway. But anyway, we got tonight's game, 9:50 p.m. kickoff here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, at Suncorp Stadium. The mighty, mighty Dolphins are taking on the mighty, mighty Sea Eagles. Again, two teams that two really doesn't watch, but because it's on Thursday, mans will probably watch it. We got some returning players for the Dolphins. We got Herbie back this week, and he'll feel right at home running out there at Suncorp Stadium. So I'm expecting him to put on a try-scoring barrage. I don't actually think he's scored for the Dolphins this season outside of preseason. I'm pretty sure there was a thing like everyone was still waiting for his first try. Maybe he did. Hasn't he been out since like round 2?
Yeah, I was going to say he's been injured pretty much the whole year, so I feel as though just Herbie who now at this point.
Hey, that's true. That's true. And the return of Burbo, Ben Travojevic, who Tu alluded to me the other day. All of the May brothers scored a try over the weekend, which would have been a way better trifecta than the Turbo trifecta. We should have went with the what should we call it? Oh, the Talon Terrell, and what's his brother name? Tyrone. The Tyrone Talon Terrell trifecta. That's got a ring to it. I don't know if it'll hit for the rest of the season, but that was a missed opportunity. I'm unhappy about that. But look, we've got Manly on an up and down season. Like you say, they lose to teams they should comfortably beat, and then they're beating teams that you don't really expect them to, like that big win they had against the Panthers about 5 weeks ago. And the Dolphins, I'm still unable to get a read on the Dolphins so far this season. They really are up and down. Currently, it goes win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. So that might give some of the couch bettors at home or some of the couch coaches reason to put money on Manly this weekend. But look, I'm thinking Dolphins at Brisbane's home ground, pretty strong. The return of Herbie, pretty good. Cody's had a pretty decent season this year. Isaiah Katoa, He's been doing things. Jeremy Marshall King's been doing bits, and I'm liking Max Plath, man. Max Plath is he the real deal. Is he a rookie? He is, eh?
I'm not too sure. I want to, for some reason, say no. Because I'm not too sure if he's on Clarkie's rookie ranking. But
Let me have a
you
look.
would
Let me have
assume
a look.
so.
When did he make his debut?
I mean, you would...
No, he hasn't had any previous clubs. He debuted on the 3rd of June, 2023. So last year, round 14 versus the Warriors.
How many games did he play? Because I think that determines if you're a rookie, like, if you
2
haven't
games.
played... Oh, no, he is a rookie. Yeah.
So he's only played 2 games. 2 games last year, and 6 so far this season.
Yeah. So I think you have to play,
And
is it 5 games?
to no longer be considered.
Then you're ineligible.
Right. So yeah, some big names. We know Tom Trbojevic. I'm not calling him Tommy T. He's just Tom Trbojevic. Tommy T is Tommy Talol. Tommy the try scorer Talol. But yeah. So Tom Trbojevic will definitely try to be putting his best foot forward to get selected for Origin coming up shortly. We know new coach. Who knows what direction he's going to go. I believe Tom's a solid player, so maybe put him back in the centres. However, he's very injury prone. He's a bit like my old mate Adam Reynolds hates being healthy. I think this is the longest I've seen Turbo play in a season so far in recent memory. So yeah, looking forward to that. Seeing if Tommy Talol can keep up that try scoring sort of a season he's going through. Not season, but he's hit a little bit of form. How many tries has he had so far this season? 4 tries so far this season. And yeah, he's had 1 try in back-to-back games. So Lash Gold Tommy T. He's my my guy to look out for in this game, I think. Tommy T. He reminds me of Tommy G. Shout out Tommy G. It was his birthday the other day too, down there in Dunners. I hope you're listening, brother. Shout out. Happy birthday. What are your thoughts on this game, bro?
Like you alluded to earlier, 2 teams that I normally don't watch play, but it is a Thursday game, and as we know, Thursdays have been nothing but bangers. I expect nothing less from this game for some weird reason. Both teams are going well for the season, right? We got Dolphins in 4th, Sea Eagles in 5th, so it's pretty much a game that will cement the winner in that top 8, and if anything, in that top 4. So it's quite an important game. How do I see it going? As you said, Herbie's back, so hopefully he's fit and healthy and firing. Cody Nakarima's been good, like you said. For the outside, so is Luke Brooks. He's been pretty solid, but he's kind of gone quiet the last little few weeks, I felt, I haven't really heard much about Luke Brooks over the last month. Yeah. That first month, he was on fire doing things. So it's kind of come back down to earth. But look, you've got DCE there, Turbo, Jake. Looking at their bench, and I'd say that the bench for Seagulls is looking... I'd give them the nod. You've got Sipley, Bullimore, Lodge, and then you've got Gordon Chan Kun Tong, however you say that. But
yeah.
Look, I know the Dolphins are at your home ground, and they did get the dub last week. Coming back, there was like a seesaw game, but you would expect the Seagulls to bounce back, man. When you're up 20-0 and you lose at your home ground, come on. So I do expect a bit of a bounce back, and I would think that they see this as a very, very winnable game. Although I think the Dolphins think they can get up as well. So for that, I think it will be a close game. I think this one will be better than probably what me and you think, or especially what I think of it and how it's going to go. If I had to pick a team, let's see, who did I pick it for the TAB? Oh, I picked the Dolphins. Okay. Surprised, because everything I was saying was leading me towards saying Sea Eagles are going to win this. So I might have to change it. I think I'm going to go with Manly. On the back of what happened last week, I just don't see that happening back-to-back weeks. I do think it's going to be a close game. If I had to give you a score, I'm going to go with... let's go with 28-24. I'm going to go with Manly. Player of the game, I think it's going to be Turbo. I'm just thinking there's just going to be too much turbo in this game, with DC being quite close behind. But I do think Dolphins will make a game of it. I do think that, yeah. But that's pretty much all I got for that game, man. Manly getting up in a close one. And yeah.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask you though. Manly have kind of been fortunate on some of their tries. I know a lot of them come out of errors and sort of just fall into the lap of Daly Cherry Evans because no one else wants the ball when it bounces over that try line, so they just slap down on it. And just some of the defensive efforts of the teams that they've played against haven't quite been there. And it showed last week that when they think they're in a position to win, they kind of take the foot off the gas. And we kind of did see that against the Warriors as well the other week, and the Titans when they were able, like obviously the Sea Eagles won, but the Titans were able to sort of keep it a close enough game to, scare some people. So I'm not quite sold on the defensive urgency of the Sea Eagles yet. Yes, they've got that attacking prowess, but I'm not too sold on that defensive urgency. And I think if you're not the Panthers, they're not really showing up to play you as intently as they did against the Panthers. So I think the Dolphins have every chance to win this one. And looking at their previous scores, I'm looking at, something similar to you, maybe like a 28-26.
I just seen who's Ashley Klein is the ref. Man, maybe I need to look into who's refereeing these games and what teams' records are with certain coaches. I might start doing that from next week.
Of Ashley Klein, man.
You know the Klein fan.
Terrible. Nah. He's so far up the Roosters' arsehole, mate. He bleeds red, blue, and white. Far out. Nah, not a fan. And look, NRL probably fine us when we get big enough. Can't talk about referees like this. Puts the game in disrepute. Billy Slater probably tell us to pick up a flag and jump on the sideline and ref a game. He can shush too. But I only think that's because so many people were ripping into that female referee over the weekend.
Yeah, it was a bit unfortunate. Cool to see. And I do think that they definitely have the talent for it, but I think both of them are still super inexperienced, and when one call doesn't go your way, then it just keeps building. Yeah, they're going to have something to say about it. But oh wow, I think they'll be better for it. And
yeah. Well, that's that for tonight's game. Tomorrow night over at Bluebet Stadium in Penrith, the mighty Panthers take on the underdogs, the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. And, funnily enough, these Bulldogs have been able to punch above their weight. Can they take out the heavyweights? Can David beat Goliath once more? In a biblical sense, maybe. In a realistic sense, I don't know, man. I don't know. What are your thoughts? We'll hear from our resident Bulldog fanatic, and then I'll give my take.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game. This is going to be a benchmark game for us. I think most Bulldogs fans are happy with where we're at the moment. We're definitely trending in the right direction, but we're coming up against the standard. So it'll be a good way to test ourselves. Have to say, man, on all the forums, people are still not happy that Drew Hutchison's getting picked. Pretty sure every week when our team gets dropped, it's always, what does he see in Drew Hutchison? Why is he still there? Get rid of him. The fans are not happy. And I don't know if you've seen this, but there was a post like a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember who he played, but he got taken off with maybe like 10, 15 left to go. Blake Taff got put in the house. And apparently Drew Hutchison got booed off the field. It was our home game too, our own fans. Oh, could
Wow,
not. They
that's
that's one
cold.
thing unfortunate about our Bulldog community. When they don't like a player, they can be super vicious. But look, we're winning, so I don't see why they would change it. I know we've got Blake Taff at fullback, but rumour has it Connor Tracy might be coming in. He is named as a reserve. So it could be the late switch. I assume if Connor Tracy comes in, he will go to fullback, which will put Blake Taff back to 14, which means Bailey Hayward is more than likely the one to drop out. Stoked to have Jacob Preston back. He was named at 17 last week, but didn't actually get on. I think they were saying he could have played if he was needed, but the boys were on a roll, so they took the precautionary route and left him out. Look, can we win this game? I mean, I'll give us a puncher's chance. What's been working for us is our defense and our defensive line speed, how we get up in people's faces real quickly, and we normally win those first few tackles, which puts the opposing team on the back foot in their set. And by tackle 4, they're still inside their 20 or just getting to their 30. So by the time that 5th tackle comes, they're still kicking from pretty much inside their half, which gives us the upper hand. Unfortunately, we are playing a team whose back 5 are just utterly dominant in returning the ball. You have Dylan Edwards, who is just an absolute king at the moment. He is just killing it. His kick returns are amazing. You didn't have Taruva and Brian To'o. I mean, Brian To'o, I wouldn't be surprised if he's leading post-contact meters, because that second hit up or the third hit up he does is just crazy. So I think this is where it's going to be the difference in the game. It's going to be their back 5 up against our defense. And if Panthers back 5 get rolling, it will then bring on Fish Harris and and Leota to cause even more havoc, because they won't be playing off the back foot. But if we can limit Edwards, Taruva, and To'o, it's going to put them on the back foot, probably kicking longer. Fisher Harris and Leota, if we can shut them down, we might have a better chance. So I think that's where our best chances. We got to stop that back 3, that back 5, and if we don't, this could get ugly, and it could get ugly early. Kikau, he's been devastating for us. We're kind of going to need him to be a big game. I'm just looking at our team now. Josh Curran is named to start, but I know last week he got switched out at the last minute. So I expect that to happen with Sam Hughes. So I expect Sam Hughes, number 16, to start at prop and Curran to come off the bench. And yeah, from looking at Penrith team, they're just stacked. Cleary's back. Not really much to say, man. There's a reason why they're the standard, the reason why they've been to 4 straight finals, and they're 3-time champs. Going for that 4th peat. Do I think we can do it? Yes, but I think it's going to be in our ability to stop their back 3 and their carries. If we can stop them, we have a shot. If we can't, it's going to be over. Honestly, I think this game might come down to the kicking of Matt Burton. If he can pin Edwards deep and then kick out with his great kick chase, win that first tackle, and then with our line speed, stopping To'o and Taruva early, I'll say we have a chance. But if we don't, if Matt Burton's kicking game isn't on, our kick chase isn't there, and those back 3 get rolling, it's going to be over, and it's going to be over quickly. If I had to give you a final score, as much as I like to say the Bulldogs would get up, I can't see it. I think Penrith are just too good. I think Cleary is too good. Edwards, too good. But I do hope we can make them sweat. If I had to give you a final score, I want to say, I kind of want to say a low-scoring game for some reason. I'm thinking 18-10.
I could see that.
Penrith in a defensive-minded game where chances are few and far between, but whoever takes their chances when they come will be the winner. So yeah, man, that's me. What you got? What are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, well, look, you've got two dogs out there, just two teams full of dogs, and I'm not just talking about Bulldogs being out there, but Panthers, man. Even in their third or sorry, their fourth um, championship that they're chasing this season, which will be their fifth time going back to the grand final, and they still look hungrier than ever. They're still full of dogs. The way they play, they haven't gotten complacent. Sometimes there's that old saying, the wolf at the bottom of the mountain is hungrier than the wolf at the top of the mountain because they've got to climb to get there, whereas the wolf at the top of the mountain's had everything. They've seen it all. So they get complacent, they get lazy. But the Panthers, man, they look like they're ready to get championship number 4. They're acting like they lost to Melbourne Storm last year, and they're coming back with a vengeance. So at any time you play these Panthers, it's a tough game. And like you said, they got hard runners, man. Taruva, To'o, Edwards, for a small man, well, I don't know how big he is in real life, but he looks small on TV. Should be New South Wales fullback this year, but the way he carries that ball, man, boy, oh boy, you hold your breath because you're like, fuck, he's going to get hammered. Boom, straight up, hits contact, gets up, plays that ball, and fits right back into fullback. Doesn't even break a sweat. And then you got after him, it's either Taruva or To'o, and then May gets in there, and then you've got, normally it's Tangwa, but this week we've got Paul. So, yeah, shout out Paul. Cleary's back, and when he's on that field, the kicking precision is just perfect. If that ball needs to be, coming down here, it's going to be coming down here. It doesn't matter who you are, what you look like. Nathan Cleary's kicks are on point. Then you got the physical forwards, man. You got James Fisher-Harris, Moses Leota, and it looks like, what's his name, still out. He came back for one game, and then got injured again, Scott Sorensen. So, Karo Haus, he had a good campaign with the Kiwis. But these Bulldogs, man, just don't go away. They stay in your pocket. They stay competitive with you each and every game. I mean, if we look back at their last 5 games, what are we looking at? We're looking at a 22-14 win over the Tigers, a 36-12 win over the Knight, a 14-16 loss to the Storm, and then a 30-26 win over the Roosters, even though you didn't score in the second half of that game, eh? It was all Roosters in that second half. And you guys...
I think we scored 1 try in that second half, but yeah, it was pretty much all Roosters.
Yeah, and then you had that loss to the Rabbitohs, which should have been a win. Who knows how that happened, but look, you guys know how to hang around. Last year, you did get beaten, 44-18 and 30-18, but I think you're a lot different this year around. It's a bit of the master versus the apprentice this week. You got Stephen Crichton going up against Taylor May. And, former comrade Critter was to To'o, Hughes and all those boys in Penrith with their little JBL speakers, bit of a unce. All the Ishe boys. I'm liking Reid Mahoney this season. He's carving up in fantasy and he's playing quite good out there on the field. You like to call him a bit of a grub. Yeah, he's a bit of a in your ear kind of guy, in your face kind of guy, and he looks like he can actually back up what he says. Hey, he's got that life a little bit. So huge shout out to him. Viliami Kiko's having a great season this year. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets I'd be surprised, if he doesn't get second row Delium of the year. He should be on that Delium team at the end of the year. Salmon, bro. What doing, cousin? I picked you up in fantasy and you've just been floundering, mate. Take you back to the fish market soon. Otherwise, get the hell out of here. Yeah, what's his name? Connor Tracy. Yeah, hopefully he comes back, man. He's an electric player. I quite liked watching him when I watched the Bulldogs games, those few games. But like you say, winners win. And if you're winning, you don't really change the formula. I don't know if you lose to the Panthers this weekend, if that's really a loss. No one really expects you guys to win. It's like a huge achievement if you do win, but no one really expects it. Panthers at home, pretty hard to beat. I've got Panthers over the Bulldogs, unfortunately. But my TAB only says To'o to be an anytime try scorer. I think he'll be able to bowl over. Who's he going up against? Kiraz. Oh, no, that'd be a good battle, I reckon. But yeah, look, I'll go Panthers over the Bulldogs. Let's go 26-18. I reckon Panthers score a couple of tries late in the second half just to put them over the line. Moving on now to Combank Stadium. The fierce rival of the Bulldogs, the Parramatta Eels, hosting the Brisbane Broncos. Eels currently ranked 12th to the Broncos 7th. Where do I start with this team, bro? Where do I start?
Do your thing. Go off.
Like I said in the other game, who was it? I think it was the Dolphins or someone. I said, no, I think it was this. All of the reserves, no, I said it for the Warriors. All of the reserves need to be in the starting lineup or on the bench. Why isn't Jordan Pereira on the wing and Corey Oates on the bench as injury cover? Why? Who the hell is Jolly Rogers? And why is he playing halfback? He played, I think it was that one game last year versus Melbourne. I think that was when, the last game of the season? We just had, he doesn't even have a profile to click on. He scored, I think, was it 16 points because he was kicking at that point? That was just a dead rubber game. We put all our starting players, we left them in their number ones, and we just played the rest of the 30 members on the squad. So that's where Jolly Rogers comes in. Okay. Oh, everyone's saying, what about Kobe Black? Kid's only 17. I understand you wouldn't put a 17-year-old in there to do that, but why not shift Billy to 6, Ezra to 7, and let's give frickin' Blake Moser a run at 9. Put Smoothie. Yeah, Smoothie can stay there. There's also people saying, how come Corey Pakes didn't get put in? Because Corey Pakes can also play in the halves. Kevy's gone with this guy, but who knows? What else am I annoyed about? Ben Takuda should be on the bench. I don't know who Jack Go Fish is on the bench. No idea who he is. I think he came from the Cowboys. I mean, if he could have played for the Cowboys, what the fuck's he playing for us? Who knows? Who knows what Kevy's up to? Am I mad? Hell yeah, I'm mad. Come on, man. The fans are calling for Sailor to be on the interchange or Sailor to be starting. I'm wanting frickin' Jordan Pereira. He's prolific out there, man. He knows how to get over the line. He knows how to defend. Why is he now out there? Yeah, go for loyalty, but put him on the bench. Put loyalty on the bench. Finally, they put Fletcher Baker in reserve grade. He's been up to nothing all season, so, that's probably the only call I'm happy with. But you replace him with Jack Go Fish? Come on, man. What the hell is going on up there? It's like we don't want to win games. Maybe he's got money on us to be wooden spoon this season. That would have been a huge shout. Imagine that. Anyway, enough about the Broncos. I hope they get up. I'm still not going to, not back them. The reason we got Jolly Rogers and Corey Oates starting is because Jesse Arthur's fractured his jaw, I think, and Adam Reynolds tore his pec or his bicep. So neither of those two will be back for a very long time. Cool. So, yeah, I guess it might be time for us to start getting Kobe ready. Maybe not this season, but, just start training him more with the first grade team, getting him used to taking contact during practice and stuff like that. So next year we can offer him full-time contract and Adam can start taking on that mentoring role. Over with the Parramatta Eels, Blaze Talangi is back, and there has been rumours that he is not happy at the Eels and is currently looking, but I know that's not confirmed. It's just an article that I read from the media, so we know how the media goes. They also said that Reece Walsh had confirmed signing with the Broncos. He still hasn't. So yeah, but Blaze Talangi is rumoured to not want to be there anymore because he was brought into the team as a centre, then shifted to the halves, then he was dropped, and now he's brought back at fullback. I think he just wants a bit of certainty in his life. So maybe the Dragons could look at bringing in Blaze Talagi if he's unhappy there at the Eels. Micah Seville, Will Pinasini, Sean Russell, Bailey Simonson. Not like a deadly back five, but I guess it does the trick, right? Dylan Brown's back there. They really, really miss Mitchell Moses, eh? Like, they don't look as deadly as they did at the start of the season. I expected a little bit more from them. Good to see Makahisi Makatoa getting some more runs off the interchange. Taranaki boy, less goal. Jermaine Hopgood. This is a good battle of the locks there, because I've also seen Jermaine Hopgood playing really well this season. People are saying, do we shift Paddy Carrigan to prop for Queensland to make room for Jermaine Hopgood in at lock? That's a rumour going around. I think I seen that on Clarkie's page. That's his origin lineup. He's got Hopgood at lock and Paddy at prop for origin. So, yeah, I mean, it sucks to be in the same era as someone as great as Patrick Carrigan. But as great as he is, we still can't get wins because somehow our coach manages to fuck up our lineup every week. It's good to see that, Broncos fans aren't the only ones disgruntled with how their coach is selecting teams week in and week out. I mean, Kevy's the reason Ben Eichen left from management at the Broncos. He just couldn't get along with him. And I'm pretty sure, Billy's good, but come on, Kevy. We know he's your son. We know he's special treatment. I mean, I still love for Billy to be on the podcast someday, so I'm not, saying it's all because of that. You are a great player, but, having your dad as a coach does help. Anyway, back to this game. The Eels haven't been playing too well. They did manage to steal a win the other week against the Cowboys, but other than that, they've expectedly lost. I think it was the Tigers, that was the first upset, they lost, and now it's every week they keep losing, except for that one win against the Cowboys. The Broncos, we're starting to lose a few games. We actually lose all our games against the top teams, but we beat teams that we should beat. That's the thing with the Broncos at the moment. That's what's keeping us in it. We beat the Tigers, we beat the Reds, we beat the Dolphins, lost to the Storm, lost to the Panthers, lost to the Roosters twice, and I think that's our 4 losses. Yeah. So I don't know where we go from here. Last season, we thumped them 54-10. I think that was with a fully healthy team. And then in April, the first game, the second game, we pumped them 54-10. In the first game, we won 26-16. And I think it's going to be something similar to that again this week. But with no Gutho, it could be open season. We could be having smoked eel for dinner on Friday night. And you know me, I love a good smoked eel. So yeah, let's go Salmon Cobo to get a double, and we're going to go Broncos 30-16.
Yeah, it's quite a dominant score you got there, and I don't blame you. We've been saying it now since most has been out that the Eels look utterly trash. I don't expect that to change, although they've had the odd win here and there randomly. I don't know how. But you put it out, bro. The thing I'm looking forward to is the battle of the locks, Jermaine Hopgood against Carrigan. I mean, I know Hopgood's been good, but Carrigan's been on fire. So he's definitely entrenched as my 13 for Origin, and Hopgood can come off the bench. But, yeah, I don't really have much to say about it. I mean, Blaze, the young buck, he's a fullback, from what I've been reading. So he's in his preferred spot. See where he goes, but he's going up against the electrifying run, Reece Walsh. And I mean, the other backs just haven't been doing it. Micah Sevo hasn't had a great season. Could say the same about Will Penasini, Sean Russell, Bailey Simonson. I feel as though Will Penasini is the only one that's being named constantly every week. But Micah Sevo, I'm pretty sure, got dropped for a game. Sean Russell's been dropped. Bailey Simonson's been dropped. Ethan Sanders, he's the third 5'8" that they've tried in the last 4 weeks. Dylan Brown, he's pretty much been the only constant, him and Will Penasini. And the fours just haven't cracked it, Regis Campbell Gillard, I don't know what's up with him. Hasn't been great. Junior Polo, Jermaine Hopgood's really been the only good forward. Oh, and Bryce Cartwright in his
Yeah,
moments.
Cartwright's
He
been
has
doing
moments,
well.
yeah. But overall, their team's just been real disappointing. And to be honest, I kind of expect it to be the same. I just think, especially after what happened last week, I think there's a bit of pain there. And I always say pain's a good motivator. And it's a lot easier to come back after a loss, I feel, especially for a team like the Broncos. So I do expect them to do just that in quite dominant fashion, actually. I think this one could be over by halftime. And I hope it is because it's the late game on the Friday. So if I can go to bed early, that's certainly great for me. But I'm going to keep it short and simple, man. Broncos win, big margin. If I had to give you a final score, might be in line of the game against the Roosters. I want to say like 40. Let's go 42-10 to the Broncos. I just don't think they'll be able to handle Reece Welsh. I think he's going to be too much for them. I've got Welsh being my man of the match.
See, the only reason I don't think it's going to be too high of a scoring game is just because who's going to be kicking? Who do we rely on to make our in-game kicks? Who's making those those bombs across field? Who's making the 40-20s? Does Reece have to come up from fullback to make those kicks, or do we rely on Jolly Rogers to do whatever Jolly Rogers does?
Welsh can kick. He was kind of the kicker when Reynolds went off, wasn't he? Like on that fifth tackle, he was kind of the one doing kicking. Man's got more of a short kicking game than a long kicking game, eh?
Yeah,
From what I've seen.
We got Josh.
Yeah, look, I couldn't tell you anything about who the fuck Josh is. Like, I can't believe is Kurt Falls injured? Like, I don't know why he didn't get a shot.
No one does.
Because he's the one that I thought they would have went to, was Kurt Falls. Billy Walters, hey, if is there an option for Billy Walters 40-20?
Yep. Well, it's any player 40-20 really, and I think that's paying out high tens.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, he is always good for one out of dummy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with Reynolds not being there, he's going to have to. I feel Billy Walters will be taking a few kicks out of dummy half, especially if it's quick play the ball. But I think it'll be early, like third tackle early, fourth tackle off that wing up there. Yeah, but I could see it, man. I could see a 40-20 Billy Walters. Maybe I need to chuck that on mine. Just do that actually.
One other thing is inevitably when we have an injury, most likely to another back, where's our injury cover on the interchange? We don't have one. What's he going to do? Put frickin' Ricky back to centre again and he get torched on that side? Or is he going to expose Piokura again and get torched even more on that side? Or what? We're going to bring on Willison and pray he can do something out there. That's why, I don't get this bench. I don't get this bench. Like, we've statistically had an injury every game. There should be a TAB bet for a guaranteed injury, whether it be HIA or whether it be a proper, like, few week injuries. So, Parramatta fans, pray for our downfall through an injury, and you guys will win. Broncos, stay healthy. Fuck. It's not hard. Anyway, Saturday night. First game, Scully Park in Tamworth. Isn't Tamworth in Queensland?
Yeah, you're asking the wrong person.
You Google it while I talk this up. Anyway, Scully Park in Tamworth, we have the West Tigers potentially hosting. I don't think it's a home game. Versus the Newcastle Knights. You've got it?
What did you say?
Queensland?
Tamworth, New South Wales is the city and administrative centre of the northwestern region of New South Wales, Australia.
Buzzy, so it is a Tigers proper like home game. I thought Tamworth was in Queensland, because it's like a country town, eh? Because isn't that where bloody Jessica Malboy's from, or like she's like come up through Tamworth? It's like a music place. It's like
what is Tamworth popular for? Tamworth is also famous as the country music capital of Australia.
It's the Memphis of Australia.
Yeah.
See, my random facts come in handy at the pub. You'll remember that now if it's on a Spates question. What is Tamworth also popular for?
Yeah. It's literally, it was like, what is Tamworth popular for? Country music capital. Australia's answer to Nashville, it reckons.
Is that what it says?
Yeah, literally, it's what it says.
All right. So, look, we've got the Tigers. What do I call this Tigers team? They promising is what I'll call them. They're showing a lot of promise this season, a lot more than previous years. So that's why I call them promising. And I think it all comes down to the young players. Samuela Fainu, Stefano Utuikomanu, and Lachlan Galvin. I think that. Oh, and also Chareem Bulla. These are the Tigers that they need to lock these guys in long term. Tigers. Benji, I don't know how you're going to do it. You know, if you have to get down underneath the table and, just get these contracts signed because these are the future. If you were smart, I guess you didn't know Lachlan Galvin was going to be this good, but yeah, you really don't need Jerome Luai. Like, this team could have used that money somewhere else, maybe like a bit of 7. Or like some better wings. Or I guess you're already getting Taruva, so you covered that option there. But yeah, look, Tigers, man, lots of promise, and I'm liking this season. You guys aren't giving up, and I like Lachlan Calvin. We've said the same from you talked about him before the season started, and I've just been on the bandwagon ever since. I like this kid, man. He's got something special, and there's not too many like really strong sixes in the game at the moment. Like, you've got Munster, who's kind of floundering at the moment. You got Dearden, who's pretty good. You got Mam, who's not too bad. You've got that's about it, eh?
Yeah, I'd say
Dylan Brown.
my boy
Burden,
Burden's kind of on the
yeah.
rise. Yeah, he's been playing quite well.
Outside of that, there's not too many like out and out like number 1 sixes out there, and I think Lachlan Galvin, has the opportunity to fill that gap. He can be that new 5'8" of the future. The Knights, like we said in the past couple of weeks, they're starting to look like they have an identity now. With sad to say, without Kalen Ponga on the side, they've found ways to still get the job done, and yeah, well, they did it at the expense of the Warriors in the last game, and that just come down to the Warriors just not being able to play in the wet, producing too many errors, and not hurting the Knights where they should have. Granted, the Knights also gave up opportunities to blow that game out to a much larger score. Could have gone either way. Dan Gagai, yeah, mad respect. My Māori, far out. Going hard, eh? Must be those Māori genes in him, eh? Sharks, yeah. Gots to be. Where's he from again, eh? Is he your fellow's way? Is he from...
I'm just going to go with the classic, send him up north, eh, Ngāpuhi.
Yeah, Dane Gagai Māori. Let's have a look.
When in doubt.
He is Ngāti Pikiao.
True. Waikatoa.
Is it East Coast? Tarawa.
Nah.
Like over those ways.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
The other ones with that song, eh?
Yeah.
Didn't know.
Be a Pikiao warrior with the heart of a lion.
Little song.
Surely he must be listening to that now to get pumped up every day. El Pikiao warrior. Cheer my Māori. The Warriors could do with him, man. He should be playing for the Warriors back home with the Māoris. Put Roger on the wing now. They need something anyway. Bradman Best, I'm liking what he's up to this season. Sorry, we got so distracted. Kai Paul Pierce, Pierce Paul. Yeah, look, I like this kid, eh? How old is he? He's not that old, eh? He's a young buck.
He's young as.
Let's have a look. How old is he? He's 23. 23 from London.
He's older than I thought then. I thought he was like 21.
Yeah. And so he's an NRL rookie from the UK. He'll definitely be playing for England in the next World Cup. Man, he's electric. I like what he's up to. Hey, strong ball runner. He can make intelligent decisions. Um, yeah. Oh, Frizzell. Was Frizzell playing last week? Nah. This is first week back.
Oh,
Hey.
I'm not too sure. Not too sure about that. What does it say up top?
Yeah, it's in. This is first
Oh
week
yeah,
back.
he's in. Yeah.
Um. So who did that push out? Cartwright or Hetherington? One of those two.
Hetherington is still suspended. Is this his second game, final game of his suspension? Is it?
Well, it's because he's listed on 18th man, so he must be
Who
back
is?
then. Hetherington.
Oh, well.
Anyway, Phoenix Crosslands also had a decent last couple of games off the bench. Yeah, I'm gonna go Knights, but I think the Tigers could also come back in this one. Um, I think I put Brent Naden for a try. I reckon it's going down Lockie Galvin's side, goes through the hands, him to Olam to Naden for a Delanois Tini Zalesniak-esque try on the wing there, right on the side.
Nice, solid. I think I'm following you as well. I think I've got the Knights winning this one. Not that I don't think the West Tigers could win. I feel as though this could be a 50-50 game. If the West Tigers played like they did in that first 40 against us, but they did that for two halves, they will be hard to beat. They're really, really good in that first half against us. They actually just played footy, shifted the ball early, and they defended well. That's one thing I took away from that first half against us. They defended quite well. But if they play like they did in that second half, to be fair, they just had no ball in that second half. That was pretty much all us. We just rolled over them. So they're a team that look good with ball in hand when they have it for a sustained period of time. But I guess like any team, right, when you're just defending, it's just going to sap your energy. And that Jordan Buller had a good game last week against us. Him and Galvin looked like the only two that could do anything. And just going on the back of what you're saying about they needing to lock these players up, Buller is there for a little bit because he signed that big extension. So 2026, there's a mutual option in 27. Where's Galvin? Galvin's there till 26. So they've got him for, well, he can't talk to teams till next year. But it's Stefano. There's a mutual option next year. So he's the one that's a free agent, and he's the one that the Panthers were looking at or are looking at, depending on what happens with Fafita. But the Storm were looking at him as well. So if there's someone that's going to move, it's looking like it might be Stefano, but you can't lose him. So if that means you got to throw the bank at him, then throw the bank. But I just don't know how much money they have, if I'm being honest. I mean,
Yeah, I don't think they
Luai's
are a
on
club
that
with
mega
plenty.
contract. Yeah. Who's the one that's been injured for like the last 2 years? Or Dewey. Adam Dewey.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know if he's back this year, but they could do with him, but he doesn't have a contract for next year. And to be honest, with his injury prone thing, I don't know if they even re-sign him or even look at him. But that's pretty much it for the West Tigers. Looking at the Knights, Greg Marju, I don't know. He has moments where he's good, and he has moments what he does against us where he doesn't pass the ball to the forwards and he runs it and knocks it on. You are a muppet. Dan Gagai, class is class. Looks like he's turning down the deal to join the Roosters. And looks like he's just going to re-sign with the Knights, which is a win for them.
Nice.
Hastings, he looked good last week. Can he back it up again? That's always been an issue. Good for them to have Frizzell back. I feel Frizzell, in the same way Gagai is for the backs, it seems like he's got a calming presence about him, and they always seem to do well when Gagai is there, and for as though Frizzell's that for the forwards. Crossland's been good all year. The Saifidi brothers, bit of a hit and miss. For that being said, I can see this being closer than what most people might think, although the TAB's got it pretty much split right. But I'm like you, I'm going to go with the Knights. Can't tell you why. Well, actually, I can because I just don't want the West Tigers to win. That's why. Keep losing as far as I'm concerned. But I'm going to go with the Knights. Final score. Gagai's the kicker, eh? For the Knights.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, that puts the score down a little bit less then. Let's go 20-16. Knights. I feel Knights will get a few tries, but they'll be out wide, and I just think Dan Gagai might miss a few, that's all. So the score will look like it's close, but I'm thinking the Knights will have it quite, not a dominant victory, but I feel as though they're just going to be in charge most of the way.
Yeah, I think it'll kind of be like the Warriors game last weekend.
Yep.
Yeah, something similar to that. Hopefully good weather. One thing I was going to say is the Tigers are super lucky that Lockie Galvin isn't off contract next year, because I know the Roosters are looking for a 6, and they'd probably throw the bag to get someone like that, because, you know, they don't like to develop their own players. Over to the second game of Super Saturday at Net Strata? Is that what that says? Net Strata Jubilee Stadium in Sydney. Who names these stadiums, man? Like, bro.
I
what
think
the hell?
no one calls. I think it's just Jubilee. Well, that's like what they always say.
Because it used to be Win Jubilee Stadium. So Win must have lost
Must be the sponsor
contract
thing,
naming
right?
rights. So it's now Net Strata. Much like Wellington Cake Tins called Sky Sports Stadium now instead of Westpac.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So Luciano Leilua returns for the Dragons this week, but he's named in the reserves. So I think they're unsure whether or not they'll promote him and who would he take off. Because the Dragons, like, although they've lost some games, these guys have been kind of balling out for them. You know who I haven't seen for ages, man? That guy that I had in fantasy team. What was his name? Fafita. Via Fafita or someone like that. I haven't seen him back on this team for ages. He just got straight up dropped, man. We welcome back Latrell Mitchell to the squad, and it will look very different to the team that he's used to lining up with every week. I think this, like, I've complained about injuries this season. Man, I got nothing to complain about. Bunnies, when it rains, it pours, Fano. But hey, too, you can rejoice the return of Tallis Duncan. He's back on the interchange this week, so it'll be good to see him back out there. Latrell at fullback. I was hoping that what's his name would still be healthy. You know, like obviously he got pretty munted and he might be out for a lot longer than initially expected. But man, it would have been cool to see what would have happened if he was still on the team. Would that have pushed Mitchell into the centres, Whiten to 6, and Cody Walker to 7? Who knows? But it's good. This week there is no Isaiah Tass, so all of the Dragons players can breathe a sigh of relief that their heads won't be taken off their shoulders because the bro can't tackle. Lomax has had a few quiet games lately. You know, at the start of the season, we were talking about Lomax. We were talking him up. He was playing spectacular, and it's kind of ever since he signed that contract, he's kind of gone hiding. He hasn't quite been as electric. You know, he's kind of tricked Parramatta. I got your money. Now I'm gonna sit back and laugh. My contract's all but wrapped up. Jaden Sewer is having a great season. I'm loving what he's up to here at the Dragons this year. Tom Eisenhuth, he's hearty, man. He just gets in there, does the mucky. Bro, he'd be one of those guys that just, he looks like he's a plumber. Like if he wasn't a league player, he'd probably be a plumber somewhere. On the other side, we've got Saliva Havili filling in for the injured Cam Murray. Man, I don't know, eh? Like, Dragons should win this comfortably. But there's always something about wounded Warriors, man, that they just sort of lay in the wake and attack when they're at their neediest because you're like, oh, we're playing Dion. Who? Dion. We're playing Davy Moale. We're playing Saliva Havili. We're playing Gehama Shabasaki. We're playing Michael Cheekham, Isaac Tuitupo Thompson, players that most likely were playing in reserve grade and, working a 9 to 5 last week. And now they're about to come out here and jam. Alex Johnston's named to the reserves, so that must mean he's close to a return. And by the looks of things, the Bunnies couldn't hope for him to return soon enough. Although they have Latrell Mitchell back, I'm going with the Dragons. They've all played together the longest. There's more connections and link-ups here than there are with the Bunnies. I think the Bunnies will be a bit disjointed this week. I'm not too sure who they're going to look to try and turn the ship around. No coach, although he's been offered a job by, I think, Fox to be a commentator for the rest of the season. That will be interesting. But yeah, look, who steers the ship in this one? Do they let Dion steer the ship? They struggle to let Lachlan Ilias steer the ship. So, you're putting the ball in the hands of someone else. It's just going to get thrown under the bus after, 2 big losses. You've talked about it off camera. Move Jack to 6, Cody to 7. I don't think that's going to fix the Bunnies, but I mean, that's going to be better than creating another scapegoat in the shape of Dion Teopa. I think Ravalawa should have another big game. He's been scoring tries left, right, and centre lately. I know Ben Hunt is going to have a field day with his kicking in this game, so hopefully Lomax is ready to chase a few high balls and, get the Dragons on the front foot with that kick chase alongside Jack DeBellin off the bench. I've been loving Jack DeBellin off the bench, man. He's been fun this season, so it's good to see him having a lot of fun out there. Last year, Bunnies won 1, Dragons won 1, but different season, man. Bunnies have only won 1 game this season, and the Dragons have only won 4 of the 9, so could be a closely contested game, but I see the Dragons having some fun and just putting on a try-scoring fest. Probably not 7 unanswered tries, but somewhere around there anyway, maybe 5 unanswered, maybe 5 tries to 2.
Yeah, like you said, it's a tough one to call with all the injuries to South. You just don't know what the bloody hell's going to happen. It feels like it's a team of like half the team, you know their names, and a few of them are definitely superstars, and the other half you're just like, who the hell is that?
Yeah.
The Dragons, they've kind of been on a slide lately. They had that game where they got absolutely tortured by the Roosters, and then last week, from what I heard, it was a close game against the Sharks, so maybe they're trending in the right direction, but it's just hard to say. Zach Lomax, yeah, he's kind of cooled off lately. Couldn't tell you why. Or maybe, could it be because this is Sully's first game back, eh? Because, he got knocked out in the first play against Roosters. Maybe Zach Lomax has been quiet because he played centre last game, right? Didn't he? For Sully? So maybe now that he's back to wing, we could see him return to that dominant form they had in the top leader, the Dally M, not that long ago. But in saying that, I am actually going to pick Rabbitohs to win this game, pick up their second win of the season, and I'm basing it purely off the back of Jack Wyden. I know I want him to play 6 and Cody Walker to play 7, but they're both left side players. And I think when it did happen, when Dean Hawkins went off and then Jai Gray went off, he was in the halves for a little bit, both of them, and they were both somehow still camped the left side. It was weird, super weird. So maybe that's why they've just kept Jack at centre and Cody at 6, because he is a left-hand side dominant player. And fair enough, because he is absolutely wizard when he's on. But yeah, Latrell, good to see him back. I don't know how he's going to go. Have these two teams played already? Do you know?
Let me have a look. Nope.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, I don't know why. I don't know why I thought that. Apologies, but yeah. Look, keeping it short and simple. I've got the Rabbitohs winning. I think they'll get Ben Hornby his first victory as a coach. Just off the back of, I think Jack Wyden's going to have a good game. I expect them to dominate. And yeah, I don't know why I have them winning, to be honest. I think it's more just the way the Dragons are going with their last few losses. I feel as though they've regressed to the mean, and they're kind of falling to probably where we had them at in preseason. Not saying that they're that bad, because I certainly don't think they're a wooden spoon caliber team. And the Rabbitohs have shown us that they are a wooden spoon caliber, but I just can't help the way that I feel. And I feel as though they will win and the Dragons will lose. And I don't know if it's going to be a close game, but if I had to give you a final score, I'm going to go. I think it actually might be high scoring. Lack of defense here is what I'm predicting. Let's go 30-24 to the Rabbitohs off the back of Jack Wyden dominating. I feel he might be good for. I want to say a try, at least a try and a try assist. And I think he's going to lead the charge. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Rabbitohs to win, 30-24. Jack Wyden's my player of the game.
Yo, well, you say the Dragons look like they've regressed back to the mean. They have lost to the Sharks and the Roosters in the past 2 weeks. Two teams that are in pretty good form, whereas the Bunnies, they can't even get a win. I mean, they lost to the Warriors, and the Dragons smoked the Warriors. So who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? I'm hoping the Dragons get back up. That's my third team this season. I got my Broncos on my main. I'm on the bandwagon. I think I just like the Dragons. I just like that red V. There's something about that striking red V. Anyway, over to the main event. Saturday night. Amy Park, Melbourne. Look, this was supposed to be like, what's his name? Joe Fraser versus Muhammad Ali. But now it's just like Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. All hype, but we know it's not going to be a real contest. Come on now. And for all those thinking, like, Mike on a rock, Jake Paul, he ain't, man. He ain't that young anymore. He ain't no spring chicken. If it goes extra, like, rounds, dude's going to lose. Plus, there's heaps of rules and like stipulations that go in Jake's favour. So anyway, I digress. Melbourne don't have Pap and they don't have Hughes this game. And the last time they didn't have Hughes, they lost to the Knights. Hughes has been the key for this team this season. Far out. So I don't know what they're gonna do here. And they don't have well, where is he? So he's still out, eh?
Who?
Xavier.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was injured.
Yeah, so that's going to make this an even bigger task to try and overcome these Sharks who are on flying form. You're just going to have to put a lot of trust and faith in Cameron Munster, who, in all fairness, he has sort of found his form in the past couple of games. So he's making that comeback. So, you know, I'm not knocking the Storm. I'm not saying that they're completely out of this at all. It's just going to take a huge effort from the likes of Harry Grant, Katoa, Munster, Nick Meaney, Whaolongo, Warbrick. Warbrick makes a few too many errors, eh? I don't know if his IQ, like his in-game IQ, is the best. Yes, I've definitely got the Sharks back five. They get the nod over the Storm's back five. I think the only thing that's missing on the Sharks team is a 6. Is a trindle. Man, they're missing him. Tag Wilton, he's been in some form lately, man. I'm liking what he does. 40-20, Tom Hazelton, like what he's doing. Yeah, look, these Sharks, they're just going to keep on rolling. Um, I think with the injuries to the players they have, and I'm not saying that they're going to give it up. The Storm probably be the only team that you wouldn't bet against to sort of grind out a gritty win against the Sharks. But yeah, I've got the Sharks just edging over, and I'm assuming Nico Hines will probably take all the Dally M points on offer, and probably he'll take a few from that Tigers game as well. Just how the scorers have been scoring lately. So yeah, I've got Sharks. Yeah, Sharks over Storm.
Interesting. Not surprising with the fact that, as you alluded to, Hughes and Pippin Hewson are both out. As much as I want to say the Sharks win, I just feel as though the Storm will just be doing Storm things and win again, and it's so frustrating. One thing to watch out for, I feel as though the weak link in that back five of the Storm defensively has been Nick Meaney. I feel as though other centres have kind of got an upper hand on him, and your teams have been able to play through that. You alluded to it, Will Warbrick, he's got a mistake in his game, man. You know, he makes some weird decisions, to say the least. And then you're going up against the settled back five of the Sharks. And the Sharks need this game. Like, this is 1v2, right?
Yeah.
So whoever wins this goes clear at the top of the table. Because they both had their bye. Yep. Played 8, 7 wins, 1 loss, 1 bye. It's just a points differential. Has the Sharks on top. So this should be a good game. Munster's been coming into form. Wishart, he's feels like he's just played everywhere. I swear he played on the wing like last week. Pizzett is out for the season, I believe. ACL. And
Who is?
Jonah Pizzett. He's the backup 7. He's the one that played alongside Hughes when Munster wasn't playing.
Right.
Yeah. He's the one that they're grooming to come in next. But he is out for the season because they don't play New South Wales Cup, eh? Their feeder team. Yeah. I feel as though I could be wrong in that. Don't quote me. But whatever comp their team is in, that's how he got injured, Jonah Pizzett.
So,
yeah. Looking at the reserves, I see Kamikamica is in the reserves. I don't know if that means he's going to come in and replace someone late or not. You got Nasser Solomona coming to the bench. Again, the bro Jack Howarth can't crack the 17. Super frustrating because he doesn't even get named in their feeder team. You know, he doesn't even get named in that team. Like, and he's on decent coin for someone that can't even crack the 17. But yeah, I don't know. Rumour has it Tavita Pangai Jr., who both played for my Bulldogs and your Broncos, as you know. Rumour has it he might be going to the Storm.
True.
Yep. That's apparently after his next fight, he wants to come back to the NRL. And I don't know if he reached out to the Storm or they reached out to him, but there is genuine interest there. I could care less about Tavita Pangai Jr. He had to leave the Bulldogs. He wasn't doing it. Costing us too much money. But going to the Sharks team, I think they need this win. It's a big game for them. If they do win, people will say it's not against the full-strength Storm team. But like I say on this podcast, you play who you play. You know, we can only kind of grade you on who you've played so far. And yeah, Pippin Hewson is a big loss. Jerome Hughes obviously is a big loss. I think I had the Storm winning on my multi. Let me just check real quickly. Where
Yeah, well,
are
I've got the
you?
Sharks because of the direction and the way that Jerome Hughes is able to guide the Storm around the field, and that's what they were lacking when they didn't have him there against the Knights in that loss. Was it their first loss in the season? It was a. Is that their only
Yeah,
loss? It
it
is
was
their only
against
loss this
the
season.
Knights. Oh, yeah, I
So
just found it. Oh, yeah, no, actually, I'm with you. I've got the Sharks winning this one, which is, I mean, I can see why. They definitely got the team for it. They kind of been on a roll. It's a big game. They need a big scout. They haven't really faced any of the like elite teams yet. And we talked about it on Tuesday how their run for the next month is really going to prove whether they're in that elite tier or just above average tier. And I think they can do it. I do have a funny feeling Storm are just going to do Storm things, get a call, go their way, and pull it out the death.
yeah,
But yeah, I've got to go with who I bet with, which is the Sharks. Final score, let's go 20-18. And I'm going to go with Hines, player of the game, against
okay,
his old club. I think he's just going to stamp his authority and say, "This is my show now.
should have picked
Get
me.
out of here." Yeah.
Because here's one question I will ask though, because if Sharks are up by 2 tries, there's 15 minutes to go. Who are those players that are getting across the line for the Storm? They've got no Xavier Coates, no Pep, no Hughes.
Um, it could be Warbrick just because he's. Whose side is he on? He's on Munster's side, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh no, he's on the other
Nah,
side. He's on the other side, eh? Yeah, because I think the game where Munster went off, I remember him throwing that long pass, and it went to Coates from memory. Anyway, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Harry Grant or if it's a forward off a Harry Grant pass. Like close to the line, kind of like a barge over, or not a barge over, but you know how he's got that freaking amazing pass where they have the two forwards kind of like charging and he skips the first one and it
yeah,
goes
yeah,
and it
yeah.
like goes literally across the face of the defenders because they're pretty much 2 meters off the try line here. He's the best at doing that pass, so I wouldn't be surprised if they get that probably off a Nelson quick play the ball. Nah, Nelson doesn't have a quick play the ball,
No,
but like off one of their forwards getting a quick play the ball, and then you have just the other two just charging. He throws that fucking bullet pass, which skips the first one. Harry Grant's the best at it. So if I had to guess, I'd say a forward off a Harry Grant pass or just a Harry Grant try.
all right, all right. Well, there you go, Fano. There you go. Over to Sunday, 4 p.m. at Allianz Stadium in Sydney. Man, Warriors always get Sunday night games, eh? Like, I feel like it's just the day they just chuck them on because everyone's hungover and, everyone back home can watch them on TV hungover. The Warriors, you all know I hate the Roosters, so I've got no time to talk about them. The Warriors, man, I'm looking at their bench and I'm unimpressed. If they lose again, like how many games do you have to lose before something changes? They've gone out there with the same team again. Pompey's on the interchange, but like, what is he just there for injury cover? Is he being a better coach than Kevin Walters by putting her back on there for injury cover? Who knows? Unless he's thinking about pulling either Montoya or Dallin late in the second half and switching Rog to the wing and bringing Pompey on in the centre. Who knows? Things I would have done differently with this team. Whoa, Bunty's starting. Okay. Um, all right. So that moved Mitchy Barnett to the second row. Right. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. So they got no love for Jacob or Zion Mau. I don't know if I would have moved Mitchy Barnett out because he's been a stalwart for the Warriors at prop, and putting him on the edge. Maybe like he does play on the edge a couple of times, but interesting there from the Warriors. Dylan Walker, Tomale, Jazz Tavanga on the bench. Three players I would have swapped out for those three. I would put on Laban, Zion Mau, and maybe leave Tomale on the bench. I'd also bring in Chanel Harris-Tavita for Tamari Martin, or at the very least on the interchange. Freddie Lussick is back, well not back, but he's allowed to play, so there's potentially possibility for him to come in, and then he'll be doing that interchange with Wade Egan. But they have a tall order. This Roosters team hasn't shown signs of slowing down. Again, you know, you can only play what's in front of you, and we lost a lot of players last week, and you've seen that. But we also lost a lot of effort in that first half after we got that first try. Just, I don't know, cockiness got to us a bit, I think, and they just didn't really look too hungry. And yeah, the Roosters put on a lot of points after Dean went off with that yellow card. Warriors have the capability. They've got the team on paper to beat the Roosters. Whether or not they'll do it, whole different thing. I don't know what their game plan is. I think the addition of Roger Tuivasa-Sheck this season has messed up the coach's game plan. I don't think he quite knows how to incorporate Roger into this side. He doesn't. I don't think Roger fits the mold of the game plan they had last season. Pompey, he fits that mold perfectly. You know, he's that sense. Like, yes, he makes a lot of mistakes, but he fits the mold perfectly for what was Andrew Webster's structure last season. This year, you've got Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, and you kind of want him to be implemented somehow, but without it, you know, compromising the shape of the team. So where does he go? Who knows? Everyone's saying roam. I know I say it all the time, like just be a roaming centre like Manu, implement yourself a bit more. But yeah, Roger's a different player. And I know, look, it's his first season as a centre. He's traditionally a fullback or a winger. I know he'll get there given time. But yeah, how much time do we waste? Chance we know can play in the centres. So there's that whole thing. Do we just swap them now before it gets any uglier? But I like Chance at fullback. I think Roger can do it at centre, but if he's got to move, I think it's to the wing and bring Pompey back in. That's just my 10 cents from the couch. Roosters, yeah, I don't know. Joey, just score me a try, please. That's all I care about. The rest of the game, I do not give a fuck. But that's me, and that's my take. I don't like the Roosters, so they don't get any of my time.
Roger that. Well, in that case, I will talk for the Roosters. Yeah, for some reason, you know how like I've talked about these certain teams that I just don't watch and I don't find interesting. You know, we're talking about the Manleys of the world. We're talking about all the Queensland teams not named the Broncos. But for some reason, the Roosters, I do not mind watching their games. I think it's because they've got players that I like watching, aka Joe Manu. I'm a big Brandon Smith fan. But yeah, I don't know. I just kind of like, Tyrell May, I'm a big fan of his. But look, I did a quick search, and on the injury list, Kirk Capewell due back around 14. Harris-Tavita, he's also out till about around 14, and Marata Niokore is also due back around 14. So 3 key players that I think they could really use are just unavailable, and maybe that's why there hasn't been as much change as people have asking for, or as we thought might happen. Just because, yeah, I think Chanel Harris-Tavita should get a go at 6, but obviously he's injured, so you pretty much have no choice but to pick Tamari Martin because Metcalf is out
Metcalf's
indefinitely.
out for a while, eh? Yeah, he's out for a long while.
So, you know, crazy to think, right, that at the start of the season, everyone's like, bro, they got all these halves. And now it's like, well, you had all those halves and now you can only play 2 of them.
I wonder what it is though this season, because there's been a lot of injuries throughout all the teams. I think there's been more injuries this season so far than last season, especially only 10 games in. There's been a lot more injuries this season, and they're not just to key players, to everyone.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. It's a hard one of injuries. It's not like you can foresee it coming,
Yeah,
and no one ever wants to see players get injured. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just league's a tough game. It's not for everyone, and when you go out there and play the game that you love, there are certain consequences that come up, that come with it, and unfortunately, injuries is part of the game. As much as we don't want it to be, it's super unfortunate. Looking at this Roosters team, I think it is, to be honest, I think this might be the most, probably close to the ideal 17.
for the Roosters.
Yeah.
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 Oh, 100%. Spencer Lenu's back.
Yeah.
That's a beast.
Yeah. Lenu is back after what he said. Sando Smith is 18th man, but I can't see him beating out Connor Watson. Victor Rally's back. The 1 weak link I think would be Nat Butcher. He's kind of hasn't had a great season, and he almost got dropped. In fact, he did, but someone got injured. So that's how he got back into the team. Still hasn't been great, so if there was a change, that might be one that I'll be looking at. But you have pretty much a full-strength Roosters team trending in the right direction. Their bench is deadly.
Oh, yeah.
Their bench is something else. I wouldn't be surprised if they do the switch and have Jared come off the bench, which they've done throughout the season. But in saying that, actually, I take that back. I think he will start because of who's on the other side for Noah Blake. So I think he'd want to start and go up against that beast. But if I get to see him starting as a prop, I don't know Barnett could play second row. Okay, learn something new. But yeah, look, I might just keep it short and simple. I think Roosters are going to win it. They're at home, Allianz Stadium. Warriors, I don't know what's happening to them, man. Do they have a bye coming up? I honestly think the best thing for them could be getting a bye. Just a chance to reset, just a chance to, go over stuff. But I'm going to go with the Roosters. I don't think it'll be dominant, but I think it might be clear cut. If I had to give you a final score, I'm going to go... let's go 30-20. I do think Manu will score a try. But I might go with Manu to score a try, Young to score a try. Yeah, I think that might be the side that dominates. The Manu and Young side.
Nice.
So Roosters to win, 30-20. Manu and Young to score tries.
Nice. Well, to follow up on your question about the Warriors bye, they, much like the Broncos, don't get a bye, or their first bye, until round 13, Origin period.
Okay.
Yeah, so they got to be like us and just ka aroha. Then a lot of other teams who have already had a bye get a bye again. So the Bunnies, the Sea Eagles, the Storm, the Titans, and the Tigers all join us on a bye at round 13, which it's good news though, having a bye late, because that means you get a later bye at around round 23 sort of thing. So tough it up, Warriors. It's a long way to go. It's a long season. We're only 10 games in. Plenty of things can happen between now and then. So just, stay on the bandwagon. I'm still there. Still booking my ticket every week. I'm still with you. I'm not always on your side. I'm going where the TAB's paying. All right, Fano. And if it makes a logical sense to me, I'm picking against you. So yeah, got the Roosters winning this one, but I don't want them to. The final game of the weekend, because who has the bye? The Raiders have the bye this week. the final game of the weekend, Gold Coast Titans hosting the Cowboys at Seabus Super Stadium on the Gold Coast. Titans, man. Titans, they've been slowly peeling back layers to reveal this team that can do bits. And I'm liking what I'm seeing from these guys. Unfortunately, Tanner Boyd's out this week because he got injured, eh? Or was it a suspension? Injured, yeah.
No, injured.
So Chris Randall's in. Yeah, you know why I know he got injured? Because he only scored 4 fantasy points and I picked him up last week just to drop him. Because Uppy was injured, so I needed a hooker replacement, and he was hooker half. And, he played a great game against the Warriors the week before, so I was like, oh, let's give Tanner a run. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, look, I still think the Titans, are a team that figured out what they want to do. Maybe the contract conclusion will free up David Fafita and the rest of the team, and they can just go out there and play. At the time of this recording, we still don't know where he's going. We'll definitely fill you guys in on Monday if you don't find out before then, whether or not he's staying at the Titans, going to the Roosters, or going to Panthers. But yeah, that's definitely one to be watching. With the Cowboys, yeah, it's pretty solid, their team. Helium's back again. Niame's still starting, so I think that's Niame now. I think he's settled into that number 10 jersey. I think that's his. Touch wood. I don't want anything happening to our cult hero Griffin Niame. Hopefully, any Cowboys fans listening, man, surely you guys get behind Griffin Niame. If anyone knows the bro, reach out to us. Let him get on. We want him on the show, man. I'm not even a Cowboys fan. Tu's not a Cowboys fan, but we love Griffin Niame. We're big fans of him here on the show. The main reason is just because of last year's 30-0 score against Australia, and he scored that try. That's the only reason I'm a big fan of Griffin Niame, was because we were all together. We were horsed as. We were having a munch, and then, oh, yeah! Oh, man, that was a great day. Yeah, so back to this game. Brimo at fullback, and that's where he should be. They shouldn't keep him in the centres, even when what's his name comes back, if he comes back. Preston's kid, yeah, AJ Brimson is definitely the fullback for this team. He's just so comfortable there. I don't know why they try to shift him and put him anywhere but fullback. But hey, I guess you're just trying to figure things out. And I think Des knows what's best for the team, and what's best for the team is AJ at fullback. Cowboys, they're one of those teams that, should beat teams comfortably, but they don't. And just to run it back, the last team they beat in the last 5 weeks was the Titans, but that was back home. However, that game, I think, kickstarted the Titans' belief in themselves and in one another. That at that point in the season, that was the highest game the Titans, the highest point scoring game for the Titans so far. And then the next week, they lost by 1 point in Golden Point to the Raiders, and then they lost in a nail-biting finish versus Manly Sea Eagles before getting their first win of the season over the Warriors here in Aotearoa on Anzac Day, a huge win for them, and then only losing by 2 points versus Storm, a game they should have won. So I think, Titans will be having a lot of confidence running into this game. I know that they should at least give the Cowboys a bit more of a competition than what they did in the last game. So I'm riding with you, Titans. I am. I'm riding with you. But I think for the Cowboys to win, Griffin Niame, Jordan McLean, Jeremiah Nanai, and Ruben Cotter are going to have to set the platform for the team early and often. Just strong carries through the middle, help get the team on the front foot. That's how I think the Cowboys will beat the Titans at 6:05 at Seabus Stadium in Gold Coast. Otherwise, I think, Titans should be able to bring their home fans a win.
If you follow this podcast, you would know how I feel about games where it is Queensland v Queensland. I'm not going to lie, I don't even know if I'm going to watch this game, but I will more than happy to give my 2 cents to what I think is going to happen. And yeah, bro, you said it, AJ Brimson to fullback. He's got to stay there. He's been their best player since he's been there. utterly dominant, and he's clearly leading the way. Cowboys, I don't know, man. They're just so up and down. Like, like they're so good, and then they just, I don't know. They just go through patches where they're good and they can almost beat anyone. Then they go through patches where they're not good and they can literally lose to anyone. At least with the Titans, rough start to the season, they were looking at the wooden spooners, clear wooden spooners. But I think they've shown enough to say that they are better than that. But again, they're looking good now. Who's to say they won't change? You have to keep it going, keep the momentum going. Chris Randall, 258 and 427. Mark Fotuaika, he hasn't really been that good. It's cool to see Keone Kinney come onto the interchange. He is a rookie. I've heard good things about him. Fullback, and yeah, they're saying he's quite a classy player. So
is he related to that other Kinney?
I wouldn't have a clue, bro. Would not have a.
Oh no, yeah, he's that one that was at the start of the season when Campbell was injured. He was playing.
Yeah. I just seen what was it? Jaden Campbell due back next round, round 11. So
Where
it'll be interesting. Huh?
Can he go in the halves?
Campbell?
Oh,
nah. I think it's one of those things where, he probably can, but it's like, if they put Brimson in the half, he's still gonna touch the ball and be around the ball, and he just needs to be around the ball to have like an impact. That's why I don't think centre worked, because he had to be fed the ball. Where
right.
at fullback he can roam, so he can play both sides. He's not camped to one side, and he can pop up when's needed. And that's one thing I noticed when they play the Storm. A few times he would just go short side with foreign, and on the last one they'll still play short side. Say where I think Jaden Campbell was just the out and out fullback, where Brimson is an elite fullback, but also could be a good half. So it's a weird one. I just looked at their contract situation. They both come off at the same time, so it's not like one's going to leave before the other, but they might have to make the call on who stays, who goes, because AJ Brimson, yeah, him and Campbell come off in 26, and I'd say Brimson's on the bigger deal. So yeah, who knows? And where's this Kinney? Oh, he comes off in 26 as well. Interesting, bro. Whoever's doing these books, they got like quite a few players coming off at the same time. I don't know. I feel as though that never works out.
Nah, you end up losing more than you keep.
Yeah, it never works out. Not a good look. But I'm going to keep it short and simple. If I had to pick a winner, I believe, according to Tabby, I went with the Titans. This one just for
Titans.
I just went for the upset. I like the value there, $2.15. I think it's $1.70 for Cowboys. So I thought I went there. They're at home as well, and you alluded to it. They've played each other before, so you always got that revenge factor. You always want to get it back. So I'm gonna keep it short and simple. Titans to win. Final score. I see this being an all try fest. No defense whatsoever. We're gonna go with let's go with 36-30 with AJ Brimson, player of the game, cementing what we already know is that he should be the fullback.
100%. Here's one thing I will ask you though about the Titans. So you've got Jaden Campbell, the son of Preston Campbell, one of the sons of the Gold Coast Titans. Do you re-sign him because of his father's name at the club, or do you re-sign Brimson, the better player?
I'm going Brimson. Brimson's an Origin player. He's been there, done that. Yeah, and I just think like what we've seen this year goes to show it. Even though it's in like a small sample size, it's enough to know. And this is something that we've always known about AJ
Yeah.
Brimson, that he's pretty much been a superstar. He's someone you can build around. And not saying that I'd like to see Jaden Campbell go, but if I had to pick between the two, personally, I'm picking Brimson. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I like Brimson. Hopefully they do keep both of them. I don't know why they would, but hey, if you can, you do, and if you can't, you don't. But that wraps that up. Those are our predictions for the week at the Barno. So jump on board, head down to the TAB, and put on your punts. But those are that. And I guess talking about the TAB, we'll head over to our multi for the round, presented by 99 Dreams, empowering you to chase your dreams. And this is the practice run, just in case you're tuning in. I don't know how you're just tuning in. This is a podcast, and you can't really miss it. But hey, if you're at your friend's place and they just happen to be playing this is the practice run, your home of sports action. So this is what my multi looks like this weekend. I've got in the Dolphins versus Manly tonight, I've got Dolphins to win, Jermaine Isako to score a try, and over 47.5 match points. That's paying $4.40. We've got Penrith Panthers versus Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. All I've got for that game is Brian To'o, anytime try scorer, which is paying $1.73. We've got Parramatta Eels versus Brisbane Broncos. I've got Selwyn Cobbo on a double, which is paying $7.50. Tigers versus the Knights. I've got Brent Naden, anytime try scorer. Dragons versus South. I've got Lomax to score 12 plus points. That's paying $2.30. Then we've got Sharks and Storm. I've got Iro, anytime try scorer. I think he's due a try. Then we've got the Roosters versus the Warriors, and I've got Joey Manu, anytime try scorer. Don't let me down, Joey. And finally, I just picked Titans in the head-to-head matchup winner. That is paying out $38,085.83 off of $10 input.
Classic to what I do in betting. I just gone head to head this week. So we have Dolphins, Penrith, Broncos, Knights, Rabbitohs, Sharks, Roosters, and the Titans. $10 bet that would hopefully bring back a little over $730. So not quite as extravagant as yours, but we're just trying to get on the board.
Yeah,
hey, we're just trying to get in the positive here, little steps. A few upsets, because the upsets I've got is the Dolphins, Rabbitohs, Sharks, and the Titans. Yeah.
Nice. And so wish us luck, whānau. Wish us luck, because hey, look, if my multi hits, like I said, I'm flying to Auckland, I'm buying that bike, and I'm taking the rest of the week off. That is what I'm doing with that $38,000. My bike's 32, so it's a couple of full tank of gas. Maybe that's a new helmet, some new gloves. Oof, yeah. And for anyone interested, once I get my current bike fixed, which is just a Ninja 400, I will be posting up some videos over on my personal YouTube channel, so you can go and check that out as well. I'll put some links up later on, but I'm doing that to try and bring more people over here, so I'll just be riding around and talking about our podcast that we do here. So whānau, go support us on all platforms. Go check us out. It's 99 Dreams NZ on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and I think Twitter, if that's what it's called anymore. I don't know what it's called. Elon changed it. And then we have a website, 99dreams.co.nz. So go check us out, whānau. We much appreciate any support we get. Like, comment, and subscribe. Share it to your friends, because you love us. We love you too. So please, we appreciate the continued support. As we wrap up, I'll throw it over to Tu to kick things off with our conclusion.
Yeah, another one in the books. We are up to week 10 now, and I believe next week is Magic Round. Yeah, so that'll be a big one, but looking forward to this weekend, how it goes. I'm actually away next weekend, so yeah, you might not. I should be there on a preview show or review show. I'm not too sure if I'm there on the Thursday or the Monday. It's all. But anyway, I'll see you when I see you. We'll keep this one nice, short and simple. I got places to be and things to do. But until then, see you when we see you. Whānau, cheer to the cheer, mā te wā.